Good morning. Right as I was falling asleep last night, I got a text from my friend, and she's sick. So I didn't respond because I was tired and I was literally just falling asleep. So I just went back to sleep, and I was like, I'll just figure this out in the morning. I think I'm gonna continue to still drop off this thing. I think I'm gonna continue to drop him off at the boarding place close to when it opens, but not as, like, I'm not in a rush to get on the road as I originally was gonna be, you know? But I'm trying to still, okay, rude. So I think I'm still gonna drop him off this morning, even though I am at a loss for what's going on, like, if I'm going, when I'm going, like, I don't know. My plan is to go, and even though it's 3 hours away, go close to when it starts, right? And then I'm gone for that, like, I'm doing that, and then drive 3 hours back, literally tonight. That's, like, my only plan I can think of, because I have nowhere to stay overnight up there anymore. He's still gonna go to the boarding place because I think it's still good to expose him to it so he knows kind of what it is, that it's okay, that I'm coming back, so that I know for future reference that I can take him there and not really worry about him. I'm like, I don't freaking know what to do now because I have nowhere to stay, and that means I would be driving 6.5 hours, so almost 7 hours in the car today, and I'd get back home past midnight. So a lot of it would be driving in the dark. So I just don't know what the smartest thing to do is. I could just not go at all, but then I spent money on this and I'm not doing it. Like, I probably will still go, but I'm kind of anxious about going because now I'm gonna be by myself the whole time, and I'm gonna be leaving at night. So I don't know. We're both packed. I debated putting on some makeup, and then I decided no, because if I am driving back tonight, which probably most likely will be the thing, I'll be back past midnight, I think I already said that, I'm not gonna wanna spend the time to take it off. Like, no, we're just gonna collapse in the bed. I'm gonna take him in like 30 minutes. Remember what we talked about? Oh my gosh, you're so close. Ah! Back up a little bit. Oh my goodness. This is a good view. This is a good angle. Okay, you remember what we talked about? You're gonna stay there for a night. I'm actually probably gonna pick you up earlier than planned. So yay, exciting. And it's gonna be so good. Not freaking out at all. I've never driven that much in one day all by myself. So even though it's not straight shot 7 hours, it's 7 hours in one day. Like, that's a lot. His bag is packed, I believe. It's just his food, his blanket, and 2 toys. So he's packed. I packed a bag for myself too. But I don't think I'm gonna need it anymore because I'm not spending the night, but I'm still gonna bring it just in case I end up maybe, I don't know, finding a hotel or something. I feel so guilty. Like, I know I'm going to get him in less than 24 hours, but I feel so guilty. Because I put on his collar and everything, and, like, he's excited. He's excited. I can't. Because I'm sure that's gonna change once we're there. He used to be a very anxious baby in the car, but we worked on it, and he actually warmed up really, really quickly, and he's great in the car. And I'm kind of worried this might make him a little bit less, like, you know, he might be like, what the heck, the car doesn't always mean good things now. I don't know that it would, but I feel like, you know, it only takes one thing and he'll be back to like, actually, no. So hopefully he's fine. But I just, it breaks my heart that he's so excited. He's like, yeah, we're going to the car. He might think we're going back to my mom's house, like see everybody, super exciting. And that's not what's happening. And so I feel bad because it's just seeing his face and being like, that's not where you're going. My seat next to me is empty. I'm not gonna cry. It's literally for one night. Like, I cried every time we drop off our family dog at a boarding place too. My whole life. We did it multiple times a year. Twice every year. Like, the whole time we had him. So, like, until we moved. So, how long was that? Like 10 years? We did it for 10 years, and every single time we dropped him off, I cried. But he did really good. He wasn't, like, showing any... Like, I'm sure he was nervous, but he wasn't outwardly, like... You know, like, tail was normal, like, he wasn't tucking it or anything, he wasn't, like, freaking the frick out, like, don't take me back there, like, he went back with the guy perfectly, and it was a guy that took him back, too, so I wasn't sure, like, but he tried to hug him. He went fine, like, it didn't seem like he, you know, was like, why aren't you coming with me, you know? Yeah, so he seemed like he went back great, so hopefully that continues for the rest of the stay. So I don't know why I'm crying, but like, oh my gosh. I just wish I knew exactly how he was doing. You know what I mean? Like, I wish I could see kind of how he went into the kennel. It's like a room with a glass door, but it's a kennel because it's really small. Like, it's not, but to see how he went in there, to see how he's acting for them and everything. Okay, let's go back to my apartment. Research maybe some places near the bookstore or something. This has turned into a solo road trip, and I don't know how I feel about it. So we be back at the apartment. It feels really weird. Like, it just sucks because obviously the original plan was like drop him off and immediately get on the road. But now, obviously, that is different. And it just really sucks. Because I was super, super excited. Very anxious, but mostly excited. And now I'm just like, this sucks. Like, I still want to go. But obviously I didn't really want to go by myself. And it also low-key sucks. Like, I literally, oh my gosh, he's literally gone for a night. If we want to look into it deeply, you know, my family and I recently lost our family dog, like, I don't know, 2.5 months ago, 3 months ago almost at this point. This is supposed to be fun. This is supposed to be fun road trip vlog. Literally, even though it's not that long of a time period apart, like, I haven't been without a dog around me. Like this is probably the longest I've gone. The longest I will go without being around a dog since our family dog passed. So this is a little bit harder than I thought it was going to be, especially now that I have time to kind of like sit there and be like, oh my gosh, like, I'm here in my apartment alone, all by myself. Like, I officially live by myself now for the next day. Okay. Fun solo road trip. Return to that fun content road trip. Okay. Food acquired. And now I'm going to eat it. And whoa. There's a skippy hair on my phone. Anyway, now I'm going to eat it and watch a little show. And then I'll be on the road. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, let me tell you something. I've literally been to cities before. I grew up most of my childhood 30 minutes away from Milwaukee, okay? But I've never driven myself, by myself. I've never driven myself with anybody. I've never driven anybody. And I've also never driven by myself. So it's like a double in a big city or to a big city. This is the first time, so it's like, for some reason, it's like I'm seeing a big city for the first time. And I'm like, what's wrong with you, Shaylin? You grew up near a city. Like, you've seen big buildings and you've seen crazy traffic and you've seen all these things. It's not like a shocking discovery, but it feels totally brand new. It's like I was driving and I was like, oh my gosh, that's a big building. And I was like, oh my gosh, dogs. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I can semi-see the arch from here. And then I was low-key freaking out because I know St. Louis is like the most dangerous city. That's why I didn't want to come by myself. But we're here, supposedly. It's on my right. I think it's on my right. It should be on my right. I'm in a spot. I need to pay for it. But I am in a spot. We did it! I did it! I got here all by myself! I'm such a grown-up. I'm such an adult. My mom would kill me. We're not gonna tell her this happened until after the fact, and she can't do anything about it. I found a library. I also passed a bunch of super rich neighborhoods, and I didn't think to pull out my phone, but I was just like in awe. I'm like, how rich must these people be? Anyway, I think I'm gonna read here for a little bit. Browsing I can do.
Actually, yeah. I am Shane Mullen. I am the event coordinator for Left Bank Books. I help produce our
express that are kind of in this book, so it's been very surreal to be on a tour where people show up and my family shows up and people support me and seem excited about the book. And of course, I've come to know a lot of you through the first means, which were Shadow and Bone, and it has kind of served as a beautiful conduit into at least people knowing who I am.
Bruh, why is it so surreal? Like, I feel like, especially in America, we tend to have like, I think personally, okay, maybe controversial, but I think that we put celebrities on too high of a pedestal, you know, because it's almost like we don't even look at them as human anymore. Like, there's something else entirely, or like, you know, they're so much better than us, or whatever, when really, like, I think it's important to remind ourselves that they're also human, because, I mean, they are, you know? And sometimes we treat them horribly and everything, because I feel like we forget that, you know? But, anyway, no matter how much I try to remind myself, though, that, like, hey, they're people, like, it's just it's another person, like, their job's really cool, but, like, they're a person. It's still so surreal seeing them in person. I think it's just because your mind is like, it messes with your mind. You're like, whoa, I've never seen you before, but I feel like I have, because I have on TV. But like, now you're actually here, like you're here. And like, okay. And then I'm so awkward and like, I don't know what to say, because it's also so quick. So it's not like, because there's like a meet and greet, you know, during or before, after, whatever, the book signing and everything, and the book talk and the crap and stuff, or the book signing is the meet and greet, whatever. And like, it's not that long to like have a conversation, so I'm always like the worst at knowing what to say. He had like conversation starters basically, but then it kind of got off track because he was like making sure he pronounced my name right, and then I was like, yeah, my parents screwed me over with that. Not entirely. I love my name, but like, it is spelled odd for what the name is. Anyway, point though, I'm just rambling. It was super fun though. It was really good, very surreal. I don't think I've ever been to a book event before. I have when I was really little. My dad took my sister and me to one, I think in Milwaukee, but it was an author that like I didn't read. My sister I think had, but I didn't, so it was like one of those things where it's like I didn't really care, and this time like I actually cared, and so technically it's my first one. It was super fun, interesting, like, you know, I've never really experienced it before, and I don't really remember last time, so it was like a new experience, and it was super fun, super surreal, super cool. I got my picture with him because I don't know, I like pictures. I think most people do in these days though. But I wish my camera was better quality, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I do wish my phone was better quality because it's kind of sucky. And my hand was shaking. I was shaking with anxiousness and excitement. So like I could not take it. It was, yeah, but it's okay. And he signed my book and my friend's book, personalized both of them for us. So that was very nice. And he seemed just very nice. Like in interviews and everything, I always thought he seemed nice and down to earth and everything, but especially seeing him in person, I'm like, yeah, like he seems so down to earth, so sweet, so nice. And he's funnier than I thought he would be. I don't know why that's a thing that like, I just, for some reason, I think it's because all the interviews I've usually seen about him, like, or with him, it's like he comes across a little bit more soft-spoken. Yeah. Sometimes I wish though that like, I don't know, I wish I wasn't so shy, because it's like, you know, people go up to him after the thing too, because we have some extra time, so people go up to him after the book talk, and like I wish I was brave enough to do that, because like I would, but like I'm also like, oh, I don't know, because like I would initiate that conversation and I don't know how to do that. But it was super fun, it was super cool, and he seems really nice, and yeah, and I am still super petty about Shadow and Bone being canceled. I will never let it go. I'm so excited to read this book though. I'm so excited hearing more about it and everything too, because I honestly went in like pretty blind, like very blind, and I'm kind of glad I did, because it's making me even more excited to read it, and I've been in kind of a funk, so maybe this will get me out of my funk. But I first have to finish the book I'm in right now, because I'm over halfway through and I need to finish it, and I don't know why I kind of got out of it, because I was super obsessed with it, super into it. It's the second Fourth Wing book. What's it called? Iron Claw? I still really love it, and I love the characters and I love the world, but for some reason I kind of fell out of it. I fell out of it because I read the first one super fast. I think the reason I've been reading the second one slower is because I've been working a lot and I've just gotten so tired, and like in my free time I don't want to read. I just want to do something that's more mindless. So, very excited. Don't know when I'm going to give the other one to my friend. I thought about dropping off where she lives and like dropping it off, but that would like add to my trip, so I don't know if I'm going to do that. Or my other option is to hold it hostage so that we have to see each other at some point. Oh my gosh, I feel so out of it because I'm so tired. Back home, literally pretty much exactly like to the minute, 12 hours later. I literally left 12 hours ago. I'm obviously exhausted, but you know, it was worth it. It was worth it. Super surreal. Does not feel like that just happened. That whole thing feels like a dream, especially the drive back. Like, I feel like I'm just asleep right now. I feel like I'm just dreaming. I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and be like, yesterday didn't happen. It was all just a dream. I'm going to bed. Good night. Who's here? And in the back, it's a good boy. Good jobs. Are you ready to go home? Honestly, his reaction to see me wasn't as exciting as I thought it was. Like, he was just so like, let me smell everything. So he didn't really have the excitement. But honestly, maybe that's a good thing. That doesn't mean he was freaking the frick out on where I was, probably. So, yay, and we already have him scheduled for the holiday season. Whoop! So aren't you excited about that? Probably not, but we already have you scheduled, so that's good. Oh, good boy. You're so proper. Let's go. Let's get out of here. Let's go home.